Oh, well, folks, we got a little mud on the Jeep. Just a little. It's a bit late, so bear with me. As you can see, for those of you that have watched my last few videos, my muddy mess right here is still a muddy mess, just under a little over an inch of snow. So, well, here we are. Back at the cabin again, folks. It's been a while since I've spent this much time up here. Oh, I love it too. It's pretty awesome to be able to come out. But I'll tell you tonight, oh my gosh, what a comedy of errors. So we're driving my wife's Jeep, which is a 2013 four-door Rubicon. Same year as mine. And she likes her little Angry Birds grill, is what I call it. They call it a gladiator grill. She likes her angry grill. I got her that for Christmas a couple years ago, because she really likes it. But while we had just got into the shop, got a oil change, and then we did the plugs, which, if you know anything about these modern vehicles, you practically have to pull the whole top end off on these to replace the plugs on them. I used to do all my own plug changes, and I was like, oh, I'll just change my own plugs. They wanted like $850. So I looked at a video on them just to see if there's something different about them. You almost have to have a degree to pull the top end of that thing apart. There's so many hoses and clamps and things that you got to pull off of there. It's ridiculous. So I said, okay, you guys do it. One of the reasons we added in, besides the oil change, is that it was getting a check engine light. It would kick it into limp mode, and it would have a camshaft sensor code, and it cleared on its own. The light keeps turning off. I have it set that way. So anyway, we took it in. They couldn't find anything. The code was gone. It had cleared itself. No history of the code, supposedly nothing. And so I thought, well, okay, maybe it was the heat. I mean, it was last summer, the last time it did it. It hasn't done it in almost a year. And we didn't get half an hour out of town. That code kicked in. It went into limp mode, kicked us out of cruise control. And then we stopped in Moses Lake, and I've got a Bluetooth ODB2 reader that connects to a JScan app, so I can go and look at all the codes. Well, I couldn't get it to work at all. And at the same time, the shop was calling me. So finally I gave up. So I probably spent an extra 15 minutes in Moses Lake, which means we're just more delayed getting out here. So anyway, we continue on the way, and well, we get to Omak, and then leaving Omak, we run into a blizzard. And I'm guessing, folks, that the inch and a quarter of snow we have here probably all happened in a matter of an hour. I mean, it was coming down so hard. I couldn't see the road. At times I was driving at 30 miles an hour. It was just an unbelievable blizzard. So, eye strain and everything else. We got to our road, and I brought my chains because it's winter, and, driving up into the mountains, if the roads are icy, you better have chains. But I thought I'd give it a try, and it just felt like mud under the snow. And clearly, that's pretty much what it was. If you look there, I mean, that's clear, and it's soft. I'm stepping on it now, and it's soft. So we made it out here. A little harrowing, but we made it. And of course, once we got up here, we got to get the place warmed up and got everything moved in and all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go into the cabin and enjoy the nice warm wood stove. We got lots going on tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get some decent weather, work on the sawmill. I know a lot of you are thinking, Eric, you're doing cabin videos and off-grid power videos, and where's the sawmill? Don't worry, it's coming. So let's get inside and warm up. All right. We might get that snow today. Supposed to be 1 to 3 inches, and you know what? This time they might be right. We had a little over an inch and a quarter or so when we got in here last night. And they had predicted, I think, half an inch earlier and up to an inch last night. And So we got pretty close to what they said, and so today it's coming down nice and slow, but it's coming down. And the plan today is to get the alternator over there on the sawmill if we're not getting inundated with snow. So we'll see how it goes. It's early still, so Darcy and I may just hang out and enjoy the cabin this weekend. Hard to say. But for now, we'll wait for breakfast, drink some coffee, and hopefully get that sawmill fixed. No making trees fall down today, that's for sure. It just ain't that kind of weather, folks. One of the things I plan on doing, folks, is up in that corner over there, after I finish this wall off, and right over here, I think, I'll be putting a pair of speakers. I've got some outdoor speakers that I'm planning on putting in there. The idea being, you know, just to have some speakers out here for when we're sitting out on the deck or having a little fire or something out here. We've got a little music. We like to have music playing pretty much all the time, so that's kind of one of the plans. It's quiet and snowy, folks. There's something about it. I think if you've watched my channel at all, any of my cabin videos, you've probably seen me talk about how long I've been working on this cabin. I started this cabin in 2009, folks. I was a dart player, and I had a very popular dart website. At various times, I would say it was the #1 dart website in the world. What does that have to do with cabins? Well, the funny thing is, when we bought this property, I wanted to build a cabin on it. But like a lot of people, I didn't have a lot of money. And then I got an advertising deal to advertise for a big dart company on my website. And it was a whopping $2,000 a year. But you know what, folks? That $2,000 was the seed money that started the cabin. And then I started building. And year after year, I've pretty much done something. But, you know, it's a bit slow. And part of the reason it's taken me so long, other than when I was living out here and I was getting more done, part of the reason is that right there, folks. When I upgraded to this mill, I spent the next few years milling almost every weekend, vacations and holidays and all kinds of things, and running my business. And because of that, I wasn't out here. And of course, as a result, I didn't get a whole lot of cabin work done. It's a little snowy, isn't it? This year, I intend to get a lot more done out here. Got to get working on this. 6 logs up is 3 feet. So 6 more logs all the way around. That's 24 logs. Will get me up to 6 feet. And then I'll need 8 more. 32 logs. And that's bare minimum. And I've got some in here that are partials, right? That's not going to work, except for maybe around windows. So this year we're going to try to crank out as many as we can. Got a lot of thinning to do, so there's definitely some log material here. It's early still, folks. Not quite 9 o'clock. And we're expecting snow all day. All that fencing was from the orchard. I'll have to come up with something to do with that. So yeah, I don't know. We might make this a weekend of doing not a whole lot. I still intend to work on the sawmill. I am hoping for a break in the snow to work on the mill. So we'll see. All these trees here around this woodshed are coming down. That'll give me a lot of D-logs. They've got to come down for fire protection, so this year I need to get those down. Looks like we've had a rabbit or rat or something come through here. Can't trust those guys. I brought out plenty of fuel for the tractor, so I'll fuel it up before we leave. If you're wondering how I put a camera in the middle of a snowstorm or the middle of snowfall without getting it wet, check that umbrella out, folks. You know you're a YouTuber when you have a camera umbrella. Well, I was really hoping not only to fix the mill this weekend, which I still intend to do, but also to get some sawmilling done. And then once the tractor's full, maybe coming over here and picking up logs and things that were left down here from last trip when Tim and I were here. We'll see. I think I'll probably wait. It's beautiful and quiet. That's where we were working. Down in the hole. A lot of trees to thin out in there, so lots to come down. Darcy's tree. One day we'll put Christmas lights on it for her. I thought about getting a fire going in that slash pile over there too, and I just don't think we're going to do that. We've done it before when it was snowing, but we had an awning to set up. I think without the awning, not much point in trying to do that. I'll probably burn that slash pile and the other one there in a couple weeks. And I would imagine we'll have less snow to deal with then. Not get much solar production today, are we? I'll tell you one thing. It was so nice to come out here and just turn the power on inside the cabin. Just flip a switch. But I'm working on a new deal. I should be getting a new inverter, a modern inverter charger, that will allow me to charge up my batteries off the generator with the proper LiFePO4 setting. That would be really nice. And it's a lot like my Ames 4000 watt pure sine wave inverter. It's another 4000 watt inverter, pure sine, but it's got more modern features. And so I'm really excited about that. I'll tell you more about that here in the near future, but that's going to be pretty cool. And so if I get that sorted out and get that in, it's going to change the power here, I think. And then I got another cool thing that I'm going to be showing you soon. I'm testing it right now, and it's actually a water purifier. And one of the challenges out here, we do have the well, but you know, sometimes the well pump, you know, I've had to replace the well pump before. That was several years ago. And you get out here and maybe you need water. And I've got a creek back here, but it's a pretty swampy creek. And so, you know, it'd be nice to be able to go down there and get 5 gallons of water if you need to. And if you ever check my Jeep channel out, you know I do some overlanding, and so it'll be cool for that too. So I got a few things I'm working on to test out here pretty soon. A lot of them for this little off-grid cabin of ours. So definitely that's part of the plan. But I think I'm going to go start the generator. I'm going to try something. So one of the challenges with not opening up this back room is that the Ames inverter, for some reason, doesn't always recognize that the generator is sending it power. And the new remote switch, well, not so new, but the remote switch that I installed might allow me to get it to see the power. So we're going to find out. All right, let's go back to the cabin and see if it kicked, and if it didn't, see if we can flick the inverter on and off to get it to kick. That's one of the things that I want to be able to do from inside the cabin without having to open up that back room, especially in something like this weather we're having right now. All right, let's see if this worked. Folks, it's working. Battery charger, shore power on. So we'll let that run. See if that will get those batteries topped up a little bit because it's snowing. Folks, you know, sometimes you want the weatherman to be right, most of the time. But then there are times you want the weatherman to be wrong. Today, I wanted him to be wrong. And he might be, because they said 1 to 3 inches of snow. And, well, we probably got our 1 anyway. And if you look at that heavy snow, could be easily 3, 4, 5. I sure like to get over there and get working on the mill. It's early yet. The crows are out talking to me. They come through every morning, a couple times. It's beautiful, it's quiet, folks. It's kind of that perfect, even with the generator, which is pretty quiet. It's just, there's something about that quiet snow coming down. And it's coming down, folks. It's chilly out here. Yeah, about 29 degrees. It's here to stay. Darcy's muddy Jeep. Dirty Jeep. Dirty Jeeps, not dirt cheap. Well, time to go back in and enjoy the wood stove some more, folks. It's going to be one of those days. Sitting around the wood stove, keeping warm, burning wood, playing solitaire. That's what I'm doing right now, playing solitaire. I think all the books I have up here I've read, some a couple times. So I'll probably just sit around and have some breakfast here pretty soon, play some solitaire, see what happens. I don't feel like trying to go out there and put an alternator on the sawmill in a blizzard. Yep, I think it's sit around the wood stove time, folks. Back soon.